Hi everyone, Teresa Aker here from Success Diaries with Teresa Aker. It's truly my pleasure to introduce you to Béla Peter Pfundt. How you doing, Béla?
Well, just a second, I'll get him. He's out in the back there, and he's having more of those Alamo beers, but it gets pretty crazy here, Teresa.
I
Let me
love
just get him. All right.
you're now
Hi there.
one thing my audience gets to see is that you're quite the character. You've got some great fun moments. We want to talk about all of that. You've got a show going right now. You've written books. So much to talk about. So let's go to the
Yeah.
beginning, Béla. Let's talk about
Okay.
you, things that you're doing. Well, how did you get here?
Oh,
Well, you see, my saucer crashed in Lake Ontario many years ago, as I told people. Nobody believes me, but anyway. Yeah, how did I get here? Wait, you mean right from
Yeah,
day
let's
one?
talk. Okay, so let's talk. You do characters, which you're really good
Yes.
at.
Okay.
Always you're acting. How did you get to learn these characters? And tell us about your
Oh,
journey.
well, okay. All right. Well, I went to art college, Ontario College of Art. It was a 4-year course, and then I got out in 79 or something like that. And then I was an illustrator. I got into cartooning, caricatures and whatever, editorial cartoons for the Globe, for various magazines. And then from there, I did some book publications, educational books, what have you. And then eventually I got an agent and did a bit of work with him. And then from there, I had this, as I told other people, I had this great animation instructor at Ontario College of Art, Hans Koland. He's up there. He took the escalator up. He's gone, but he was a wonderful guy. Very inspirational. And I learned cutout animation. And this is back in the 70s, and that's when Monty Python was starting to come in. And I really got influenced by Terry Gilliam's work.
Okay.
And so I got into cutout animation, which I've implemented in most of my films, all of my films. And he was encouraged me because he was once an employee of CBC Graphic Design. So he said, you know what, Bela, I think you should go there and work. They could use your talent and you have the sense of humor, and on and on. And I really didn't want to. I didn't. No, I'm really into doing what I'm doing. And I don't know about television. Yeah, I had a yucky feeling to it. But inevitably, I went there and I got hired, and there was a Hungarian supervisor there, and he says, "Oh, Bela, yeah, you have very nice stuff here. Yeah, I like this. Okay, you can start, my boy." So on and on it went. I was there for 25 plus years.
Wow.
I wanted to get out sooner because my passions, as I stayed there, I obviously it was another college for me, another university, learn everything, from producing to what have you. Very nice people, a lot of nice producers that I worked with, and some, of course, well, they should be working for Home Depot, I think. But anyway, it was all part of the playfield. And so during that time, the last 10 years, that's when I started picking up more of my acting and voice work. And I went to Second City, did a 6-week crash course on comedy improv. And I met two other guys, and I said, "Hey, look, I want to start writing some stuff here.
Okay.
I got an idea for a CBC radio show since I worked there. So let's see if we can call it channel scanners." So it was very Twilight Zone-esque
Okay.
where somebody be waiting for a cab in a dark alleyway or some dark street, and this cab comes out of the mist and the fog and picks up the passenger. And this was the link. He was the link to all of the stories, all of the sketches, you know.
Oh, that's
So,
amazing.
and pitched it, and a wonderful guy was their producer and development of comedy, and he liked it. So we wrote a bunch of sketches, and it was during the time when the infamous Brian Mulroney starts slashing away at CBC. And so they slashed away at comedy development and da 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 da. So that was that. But we got paid for something that was never aired or was never produced.
Okay.
So that was interesting. On and on I went, and then I got more involved in, okay, I want to pitch more TV shows. So then I decided, a friend of mine who's also took the escalator up to the stars, wonderful guy, he was from Israel, and Jonathan Amate, and he was the influential key in getting me more and more in front of the camera.
Okay.
So he says, Bella, I want to shoot all your characters. I want to shoot them all. Come on, let's do. Yeah, but wait a minute. Let's have a premise to this. How about if I write something like something on aliens or abductees or UFOs? Okay, whatever. Just we'll shoot all the characters, do your makeup and everything. I said, okay, fine. So we did, and that turned out to be my first film called Visitors. And I sold it to at the time, early 2000s, to City TV Space Channel.
Okay.
Didn't get much for it, but it was a nice little exposure. It was a very niche artistic kind of film, but it was apparently, from what this entertainment lawyer told me, it was the first mockumentary to spoof this topic. And I said, oh, wonderful. So now I'm reflecting back on that, and I'd like to re-release it, but I'm also considering of doing a TV miniseries of that. So a mockumentary, all mockumentary. So that's on a back burner, amongst other things. So my mind has just been going, 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 and I just finished writing a sketch, or not a sketch, another mockumentary film, and it's basically about a forgotten safari tire hunter in this mysterious valley in Africa.
Oh,
And here's a couple of clips of just to give you an idea.
okay. We're
Hang on, let's
just,
get back
yeah,
here.
there we go. We got it now.
There we go.
Perfect. Yeah.
Whoa, disappearing act. You can
There you
barely
go.
see it.
Yeah.
Basically, his wall is filled with tires, and it takes place back in the 1940s. So I want to recreate a sort of a documentary combined with a little bit of British Pathé newsreels style of film. So 19 late 40s, 50s, that kind of
Sure.
thing. So
Yeah.
that's what I've been up to, and now I'm putting my voices together.
You
So
are. So how many, so we saw Henry Hill when you came on. How many
yeah.
characters do you do? Like, do you have hundreds of them?
Well, it was supposed to be years ago, it was about 90, but I'm going to put together a stream of voices of all sorts, probably around 50 or thereabouts. I'm just choosing my favorites or best ones.
Tell me some of the
So,
favorites and go ahead and do them if you want a couple of characters.
there's Stephen Lewis. He was on
Oh,
the
I love
buses.
it.
You better get that bus out, Butler.
I had a whole
That
bunch
was
of these
perfect.
masks made. I had these all made because I went to a karaoke and I put these on and I chose some Beatles songs and they were singing to the Beatles songs, you
Yeah,
know? So,
I love
you
it.
know,
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me?
kind of thing.
Perfect. I love that.
And then, of course, the one of my favorite guys. I can't take it, Teresa. I can't take it anymore. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I got too many things to do. You
You
know,
get no respect anymore.
I get no respect. No respect.
That's fantastic, Bill. I love it. What a talent you have. I mean, you've obviously been in television, done all of these things over the years, but wow, good job. And it looks like,
Yeah.
you're not stopping. So that's fantastic.
No.
Behind you, it says driving me nuts. Can we go ahead and talk about that? I actually saw it on YouTube. I'm going to make sure it's in our show notes here, but let's go and talk
Okay.
about that because that's a really nice development that you've done.
Thanks. Yeah, I thought I'd treat something a little bit different. All my films are different in one way or another, and this one I thought I'd treat it in a sort of a comic book style. And so I shot the actors in my basement little office here, one little corner of green screen, and I built this little wheel, took a kiddie wheel, painted it black, and put it on a stand so the pupils would have something to drive with. And
Sure.
then I collected all of these shots of various cars, usually from the 50s or 60s, a lot of British makes like the Morris or just weird cars and the instructor is Laszlo, and that's his actual first name. Hungarian background, very dear friend, and I chose him to be the driving instructor. And it just so happened he once was a driving instructor when he came to Canada, so it was perfect. And so I shot all of these people separately, and then I combined them together. I composited them and then I put the graphic of the car, which was also treated in a comic book style, over them. So there's layers and layers and layers. And then behind them you have the back seat and you have the back window. And then behind that you have live action footage, which I treated in a cartoonic style, but not comic book style with the halftone dots, just very stylized. So they didn't know who they were acting with, literally. And I had cue cards on the side. I said, look, if you're ever stumped, here you are, just look at it. Don't worry about muffing your lines. And it was great. And some of these people And they all said, "Oh, I don't know. I don't like going in front of the camera. I've never done this before." I said, "Look, just hang in there. I'll guide you through it,
Yeah.
okay? But don't read from the lines. Just, if you're stuck, look at it and I'll stop. We'll go again, okay?" I said, "This is not film. It's all digital, so just blah, blah, blah as much
Yeah.
as you can." And so it all turned out great. And I'll tell you, Teresa, a lot of these people have missed their calling. They should have been on
Oh, I bet.
stage. Honest to God, I was so happy with their performances. And the one couple, Monica Dudecki and her husband Axel, were just great because
You,
they perform on stage. So,
I think,
uh,
Bela, you hit it on the nail. You said in the beginning, some of them were afraid to come on. I think fear really
yeah.
holds people back from their beautiful talent. And when someone like you lets them release that, it is amazing, isn't it?
It is wonderful to see it, how it evolves. I mean, you've
Yeah.
written something in black and white, and all of a sudden you're casting these people, and casting is everything.
It is.
Okay, casting is, in my opinion, is about 90% of the film. You've got to have that character that portrays the character that you want. And I am very much a storyteller.
Yeah.
I'm not into these quick one-liners and things like that. I mean, of course, there are some good one-liners in the film, but I'm into storytelling. And the first film, which was 2 hours and 27 minutes, that's the director's cut. The one that's commercially released that you watched is 2 hours and 7 minutes. So I had to unfortunately remove a couple of sketches. And I didn't want to do it, but it was because of cost and everything. But the director's cut, it won in Sweden
Oh,
because in
congratulations.
Europe, they love storytelling films. They love long films. And and in most cases, in the States, when I entered my film in indie film festivals, there was limitations. You weren't able to enter 2 hours and 27 minutes. So they said, "Oh no, it's got to be 90 minutes, 120, 60, 30." So what I did was I kept the front and the end of the film, and then I took the sketches that I wanted, and each one were different in length, and they each had their own titles. So then I copied and pasted and put them, it filled in the gaps, literally. So if I needed 120 minutes, I found something that would add up to that time amount and submit it. And I won awards on a
Nice.
lot of them.
That's
So,
fantastic.
there's always a possibility to do as many things as you want. So,
You're very talented for sure, Bela. And your voice is one of those voices that you can definitely, you have an ear for hearing characters and you can see
hmm.
what they look like and you're able to copy that. But now you're doing, and you've done developing before, but when you put this together, that's a lot of work, Bela. I know that. I know
It
it is because I'm
was,
doing a podcast and this talk
yeah.
show takes a lot too. And so I
Oh, of
understand
course.
from going from here to doing what you're doing, that's a lot of work. So, I mean, when you did your education, would you find that most of that was in schooling or was this something you just learned on your own?
This I learned on my own.
That's what I
I,
thought. I actually
but
thought that.
mind you, I shouldn't say totally because I did take animation with Hans
Right,
Kohlen, so
right.
that's a plus. That was film animation. That's when you had to do it like Disney, you hand
Yeah.
crank it, you
Where they,
zoom
yeah,
in
the
around the
screen
whole
moves.
bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
So when computers came in, that was great.
Yeah.
So got onto the Mac, and the Mac's been my friend ever since. But I think when one is creative or has a passion for various creative outlets, you you're just so intrigued. You want to know, you want to learn. So that to me is the evolving process of creativity. That's when you find out, and I'm still learning. And I could very well, in all likelihood, maybe say next year, "Oh, well, I want to do something totally different. I think
Yeah.
forget about film." So I started writing a musical, believe it or not.
Oh, I love that. What was it called?
So,
What's it called?
well, it's not finished.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
only on page 20.
Oh,
So I got a
we're
long way to
anxious to
go.
hear this. I love
Well,
musicals.
so am I. But
Yeah,
anyway, I've always had a passion for writing music and with characters, and
sure.
this has never been done before. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna take a jab at it. And I have a few people I can touch base with, somebody that's been an assistant musical director in the Vervish production or whatever. So
Sure.
it helps to know people. That is a big plus.
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree.
I don't care what anybody says. You've got to know people. You got to get out there, tell
Yeah,
people you exist. You've got to just sell yourself, and
I agree. And I
that
would
that's
also
all.
add, Bela, and one thing I've experienced and I'm so grateful for in doing
Yeah.
this, I have a network of people all over the world. And you want to know something, Bela? When
Yeah.
they are willing to help you and you're willing to help them, it's an amazing, almost a mind melding comes together and
Yeah.
something else is formed. And so you're right. You need a tribe.
Mm,
You need to be supportive, and you will find other people supportive of you. And
yeah.
because in the creative world, everybody wants to see it, don't they?
Oh, of course, of course. And that philosophy sort of reminds me of like a mob kind of philosophy. Hey, you scratch your back and I'll
It's great.
scratch yours. You know what
I
I mean?
like that.
So, yeah, no, it's true. It's
No, but
everybody's
it
got
is
to,
there, and it's a network. It's a group of people because I think they unconventionally, everyone
hmm
that's in that field understands the work, and you're almost, I guess, doing it on. It's your idea, but it's not like 9 to 5 where you're going in,
yeah,
you do your work, you come home, you're
yeah,
done. It never is
yeah,
that way. You might have
yeah.
a blank for a couple of hours, and then in the middle of the night, you're like, oh, I got an inspiration, and then you do something else, and you take action on it, right?
How did you know that, Teresa? How did you
Yeah.
know that? I wake up at 2 in the morning and I go downstairs, and that used to happen, but I just remember it when I wake up. And but yeah, it's addictive. And my friend,
It
my
is.
dearly parted friend, used to call it itchy brains, which I think that's a perfect terminology for that process. And we
I
all the creative people or people that have a passion to do creativity have it.
They
And
do.
there's no answer to it. How does that happen? Nobody knows. But possibly guardian angels that stand by your bedside and, oh, well, today you're going to do this. You know,
I love that.
we don't
That could be
know.
a
We just don't
television
know.
show in itself,
It could be. It could
right?
be Itchy Brains. And here's your host for Itchy Brains.
Yeah. I
Uh,
love it.
but
Elaine.
also talking about networking just briefly is
Yeah.
it's also alchemy
Yeah.
of meeting
Yeah. Yeah.
the people that
Yeah.
believe in you, the people that believe in your product. That's the essential thing. And if you've got that, because I've gone through, like when I finished Visitors, I finished the film, and before I sold this city, I went upstairs and I talked to the president of CBC because I knew the guy in the head of comedy and I wasn't too keen on him. I just didn't trust him. So I went to the president, El Presidente, and I've forgotten his name, but he came and went as they all do. Oh, well, I think I'll get a job at Home Depot. So anyway, the thing is, I went to him and then I showed him the script and I showed him this is what I'm doing. I'm thinking of doing this as a TV series, mockumentary, first of its kind. And then he writes back, wonderful idea. You keep it up.
Oh, I love that.
Wonderful. Yeah, golly gosh, thanks. Yeah.
I know,
And
but
then
you're sitting there going, I
I
put all this work, heart, and energy in, and that's what I got.
but you have to have the gumption. You've got to have that explorative mindset where you just go above
Yeah.
and talk to the person at the top. Hey, look at, I work downstairs. I take the garbage out, eh? But I got this idea here. What do you think of it, eh? And that's, who says you can't do that? I mean, that's all part of the evolving process and learning. It's a learning curve, you know?
I agree. And I think part of you has to have, so first you have to have a raison d'etre. So every day you got to have a reason, you got to know what you're here for. And when
Absolutely.
you have creativity, I believe you're right. The criticism side will arrive inside of you and from other
Yeah.
people. So I think you
Yeah.
have to almost guard yourself. And I think
Yeah.
that's why there's a creative I guess atmosphere, if you will, where you have the wheels are turning all the time because you're in tune to it. Other people are helping you, but you're right. You have to believe in yourself 100%. You just have to know, as wild and out there as this is, I know where I'm going. And would you
Yes.
agree with
Yes.
that, Bela?
Absolutely. You have to believe in yourself, as I said.
Yeah,
And that's why you hear it in the Oscars all the time when they get their Oscar award. They say,
sure.
believe in yourself, keep doing what you're doing, don't stop. Never give up, never surrender. That classic line from
Yeah,
Tim Allen in that movie.
it's
But
true.
that's the nature of it. You really have to have the tenacity. Too many people give up too easily.
It's
I mean,
true.
some of these scripts or ideas I've had on the shelf. Like I'm now hopefully pushing a pitch to a sports network for this sports recreational family show with a friend of mine. So let's see how it goes. But I started this idea back in 2013.
There you
So
go.
there's no such thing as death, okay? Make that clear. always believe in the product. And if you have an intuitive sense that, hey, this is going to go, it's going to fly because I've got good feedback from people that I can
Yeah.
trust their opinion, you know. So then that's enough to give you a bit of a further boost or add more gas in the tank, so to speak. So,
Yeah, I agree with that. And I want to also add, listen, you are an inspiration to everyone. You have not stopped, you have not quit,
yeah,
you just keep going, and you're not even
absolutely.
giving it a thought of stopping. And I think that's
No.
commendable. I have a show also called Life After 50. And a lot of
Oh.
people kind of, you know, that old saying, dead at 30, buried at 72. You know that saying? No, but it's
Yeah.
true, right?
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
people don't understand. You have the rest of your life, you could be creating, you could be doing all new things. So just
Yeah.
because you retire or you're thinking about retirement, go and get
Yeah.
that creativity and the juices going and get started on some projects you thought about 20 years ago that you never brought forward.
No, I know you mentioned the word retire. That is a terrible word. That's not
Awful.
even a part of my vocabulary.
I
And
know.
when some people come up to me and they say, "Oh, so you've retired now?" I say, "No,
No,
no. Where did you hear that? You're not supposed to know. That doesn't exist in my vocabulary. I'm
right?
sorry. Yeah. Who are you? Who are you to say that to me? No, you can't. You can't let this thing up here, say,
Yeah.
"Oh, well, time to read the paper, smoke the pipe, and watch TV." No.
Yeah, I
You got to
agree.
keep
Now,
everybody has that itch. There's something in there. If it's quilting, knitting, whatever it is, wood carving, or who knows? Uh,
do
there's a
something, right?
process. Exactly.
Now, where do you
Exactly.
see yourself going in 5 years now? What are you going to be doing?
Oh, I don't know. I threw my crystal ball away a long time ago, Teresa. Oh, I see spooky, spooky, dark, dark corner alleyway. I see you. Oh, I don't know. Holy Maria, I see you. I don't know. I really can't. It's very hard to predict because I'm
Sure.
constantly finding out different things that gives me that itch, you know?
Okay.
And
Now, if somebody wants
yeah,
to reach you right now, Bela,
mhm,
so
yeah,
somebody says, I really want Bela to do some writing for me or do some caricatures, where can they get a hold of you? I'm going to have Driving Me Nuts up here. We're going to have the show that I know it's on
sure.
YouTube. Where else can
Yeah.
they see it, Bela?
Well, it's on Apple
On Apple.
and
Thank you.
the YouTube, there's another YouTube, but it's in the States. And then it's on Prime, but the Prime is in the States. And
Okay.
the reason why is because I didn't have enough cashola to put French captions on there.
Got it.
But I'm looking into that and hopefully I can do something to resolve that. But right
Okay.
now it's Apple and YouTube.
And
Yeah.
YouTube. Okay. So I'll make sure that's on here. I've definitely already seen it and I've subscribed to your show and I'll make sure we have that on the show notes for you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely.
Great.
And so
You're
is the
doing it.
bet,
I was just
sorry,
going to say, you're
Bella.
doing a great, great show. I love it. I love the whole concept. It's
Thank
great.
you.
Trials and tribulations of,
Right?
everything.
Now,
Yeah.
what's the best place? So do you want email, your web page? Do you have a web page? What do you have?
I have a web page. They can
Okay.
explore all of my accolades and the hats I wear. It's at innerlightconcepts.com.
Okay.
But they can reach me through Instagram or my email, whatever, you know,
Okay. Again, I'll make sure all of that's in the show notes. I have one more question for you, Bella.
by all means.
I had a lot of fun with you today. Will you come back and do another show?
Teresa, I love it. I just love talking about things and anything. And yeah, I'd love to, very much so. Just give me a heads up, okay? It'd be
I love
wonderful.
that. You're very personable, you're warm, you're creative, and I just love that about you. And I'm so glad I met you. So we're going to have you back and
Okay.
anything you
Thank
have
you.
coming up. Now, we talked about a couple of books that you did. Do you have a
Oh,
couple of them there for you? I want to be able to show
well,
that to everyone. Driving Me Nuts,
this
the book. Yeah.
that's the book on the making of.
Oh,
And it's got shots in there and everything, and the process of how it's all done, as I was explained to you,
yeah.
layers and layers of this and that. Because the people or the folks, the actors in the film, were going, "When's that film going to be done? You know, 5 years. When's it going to be done?" And don't forget there was COVID when I shot this film too, so that
Oh,
put a halt on
sure.
things. And then recuperating from my prostate cancer and the whole business. So, it was just a tornado. This one here is also, can we get
Yep.
that?
Got it. Thank you.
Oh, Untold Mysteries from the Vaults.
Okay.
This is a compilation of, and it's illustrated, photo illustrated as well, compilation of all sorts of mysteries in UFOs and aliens and things like that. And I'm thinking of doing that as a series as well. It has that potential. And
Oh,
then
that's
what else?
fantastic. Yep. And what is now this one is, let me,
Tsunamis of Life.
yep.
I think I might write another one because I've taken stories, funny stories, weird stories, crazy stories from friends that they've experienced and put it into a book. And some are just hilarious. They're gut ripping. Um, and this is based on the poster show I had. I designed these posters. I've got about 32 of them.
Oh, I like that. That's
Wait a
nice
minute.
too.
Oh, geez, if we can just get a perfect, come on. I feel like the Invisible
Here you
Man.
go. It's okay. I'm going to make sure these are all in the show notes as well. Don't worry.
There
Got
we
it.
go.
Right there. Perfect.
Okay. Yeah. Geez. Oh, well.
So you've showed us 4 books and we've got the YouTube channel. So all of them, you make sure you get them over to me because I want to be able to put them on social media. Can they get them all on Amazon, Bela? I just want to
Yes,
ask you that.
the books are available on Amazon. Tsunamis of Life as well, and Tsunamis of Life, the yellow one,
Sure.
is available on Apple.
On
And
Apple? Okay.
yeah, yeah, that's
Beautiful.
still going on.
Bela, you are wonderful. I am very grateful that
Thank
you
you.
came on today.
Thanks very much, Teresa. It was great meeting you, and carry on doing the thing you're doing because we need more people like you. That's just,
Oh,
you
thank you,
gotta
my friend.
you gotta get these people on there. There's a lot of people that people don't know exist.
Well, and you mentioned before, thank you, first of all, for that. I'm trying my best to bring people forward, to give them just, even if I can be just a little small piece of helping them get to where they want to be. And as you said, there's some people with tremendous talent that don't even
Yes.
know, and a platform like this allows them to come forward. And some
Yeah.
people have overcome adversity, some, mental and physical illnesses they've overcome. Some have done creative things like yourself, and you overcame cancer. And gosh, I send my
Mhm.
prayers and love to you. Keep staying
Thank
healthy. That's what matters. And so many things people have overcome. So this show
you.
kind of says, hey, if Bela can do it, so can I. And that's
Hmm.
the piece that comes together. Would you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So I'm always there.
irrefutable.
I'm trying to help everyone that I can as best as I
Good
can.
for you. Good for you. Good. All
Yeah,
right.
and it's great people like you shared your story and they're going to be able to do it too. So thank you, Bela.
Thank you, Teresa. Love and peace all to you. There you go.
Everyone, this is Bela Peter Pfundt. Please go over to his YouTube channel, take a look at Driving Me Nuts. It's a great show. It really is great. And I'm going to make sure all his books here you'll be able to go and look at the titles of the book, go over to Amazon, purchase your books, or Apple, depending on where they are in there, and you'll know from the show notes. Bela, thank you again. And to everyone else, this is Teresa Aker from Success Diaries with Teresa Aker. Do subscribe to my channel. I truly appreciate that. I hope you're all having a great day, and I look forward to talking to you soon.